Okay, hello everybody to the fifth session of the XStepCafe. There's still people dropping in, and there's still that noise in somebody's office. So maybe if you have the possibility to mute your phone, something like that, this would be really helpful. I don't know. Do you have a big office there? Okay, we'll try to start anyway. So I'll first broadcast the results to you so that you know what the others have answered here. As well. And start with the usual stuff. So I'm showing you the slide you probably all know, but I feel it's good to show it every time again. So what we do here is exchange of experience, discussion of common problems, and share of tips and tricks. And what we don't do is consulting, training, or OSS replacement. And every session will be recorded. Oh, this is a bad noise.
Joining conference.
Okay. Maybe.
Joining conference.
I think today we will do something new. I'll try to mute all people, and please use the chat, and I'll try to also use the chat window here. Well, but I don't see this chat window. That's bad. Okay, I'll try it. Okay, despite the noise. I will switch over to the presentation mode, and today's topic is the Stylesheet topic. It's a pretty complex thing, and I already warned all of you when I did my last invitation that you need some understanding of XML, Stylesheet, JavaScript, maybe HTML. So this is all covered here in this session, and I will share my computer screen now and jump right in. And we'll start off with the standard XStep repository, and first thing I'll do is to show you a simple example, which is also found in the SXS library. Download this in this section here, changing the look and feel with a CSS manipulation, and I will also show you later on how this is done, why this is, you can influence something here. And this is the XStep, and when I simulate this here, you see that in the background you see a bright red color, and then this face tray is blue. And this is done with an HTML coding. This is here from this section on, where you can type in inline CSS formatting here to manipulate certain elements of the standard PI shade elements. And as you can see here in this list here, the classes that are used in the style sheet that you will also see later on follow a certain naming convention, and once you figure out how the naming convention is built up, you can quite easily find your way how to change the font size or the color of a certain field. So as an example, here you see IFD is a simple input field, whereas TIFD is a tabular input field. And then you've got, after that there's a star, and here you've got some example, like that one, for example. You have IFD, which is input field, and disabled. So there are also for many elements different CSS styles to define how they are looking when they are active and when they are inactive. So you might know that if you deactivate an instruction, then all the input fields will become gray, and also the text will become a sort of a darker gray. So that's a quite easy way to manipulate with a style sheet method these CSS fields. And you can do that also without any customizing or XSL style sheet modification. It's just inside this SXS, as you can see here. And you can also distinguish certain recipes, for example, with different background colors, so that you see, okay, this is a recipe for a test order or a development order, and this is really production order. Okay. So next thing, so this was sort of warm up, and the next thing I will show is what how the PI sheet is looking like. So I start off with the example of last session. We'll just show you the PI sheet as I showed it last time. So this is the PI sheet in an HTML representation in the background. So whenever you send a control recipe, all the data you've put in there in the XSteps is converted into an XML structure. Yeah? And you can find this XML structure when you copy this control number here and access the transaction OAER, which is the business document navigator. Then you have to type in this class name, this class type, and then the object key, which is in this case the control recipe number. Once you've executed that, you see here a folder structure. You expand this, and you see here one file which is called data XML. Yeah. You can download this or just double click here, and then you see the structure of this XML, which is basically the first step to also later on manipulate with the style sheet enhancements the look and feel of a PI sheet, because you need to know what the structure of this XML is. And I will just briefly go into that and explain the structure. So you see here, this is an XML document.
Joining conference.
Which has three basic areas. First, the header area, the content area, process area, and I will focus more on header and content here. So header, you see, there are only these metadata that later on appear in the header of the PI sheet, and most of the content is here. So you see here, and let's see it again here. Here you see all the phases of that PI sheet, and for instance, if I'm using that one here, which is the weighing phase, then you see here a lot of different elements, and you see here the instructions that I've used, so quite a lot. And that's all these. See, quite a lot of instructions are put into this weighing phase. Yeah, and in each instruction you can have all the basic elements. So, for example, here you see a text output element. Again, a text output element, and you see an execute, which is actually not visible. So it's one of these hidden function modules, maybe that I'm using here. Then here, for example, there's an input field. So this is how the whole thing is structured. All these tags, they have a certain ID, and it reads like, well, this is an instruction, I think. This is the phase, and this is a number. So it is numbered in a sequential way here. So, and that's also a way how to identify a little bit what this element is. So this is in phase 210, and what else does it have? It has a value here and certain attributes. And these are this is the data structure which is later on used by the XSL style sheet to make an HTML document. Yeah, so I'll leave that open here for later reference, and close that this one here. Next thing I'll do is I'll show you where the files are located that do all these these manipulation and conversion. So I'm going back here. The transaction is SMW0, and you have to click here for binary data, and let's leave that out for the time being, and I can, for example, use star XSL to find all the XSL style sheets that are available in the system. And you see here under the package CMX_POC are all the standard style sheets, and also the CSS styles and all the rest located. So if you want to have a look into them, you just need to select one. You can download them and then have a look at the details. I will go back once and show you the elements I have used in my little demo. So you see it's not only an XSL document, it's also a CSS document and a JavaScript document, and several pictures, GIF pictures, which are used to do these icons you've seen last time. Okay, one comment also on this transaction. It is a good idea to check in your system first the different MIME types that are included here, and maybe one of the MIME types you need to use is not yet there, so you might need to create these MIME types here manually. So, for example, a text XSL, which is the MIME type for the XSL style sheet, and maybe the character set, the char set, is not there that you might need, so in this case UTF-8. And if you have done so, there's also a good idea to assign a MIME editor to easily have a look at these things. Right? So, for example, style sheet, maybe a CSS style sheet like that one here. You see that I've included the Windows Notepad exe quite simply. And once I did that, I can just click here, either display or change. Let's say display, you see the CSS style sheet, and here you might find all these stuff that I've shown before. With these are all classes that are used in the XSL style sheet to set a certain style to certain elements, like labels here, or you have table output fields, TOF, or input field active, input field default, input field error, or inactive. So these are, for example, all the styles for simple input fields that are used. And you see, there's you can do a lot more. So if you know a little bit about CSS style, you can use all of these styles, and you can do really weird things with that. Okay. Now let's dig a little bit into the central document, which is the first one that is called. And maybe before I look at it, I'll show how this is in principle activated. So I close this library, go into my demo environment here in the repository, and have a look at this layout element. So to activate a certain custom style sheet, you need to have an SXS like this, with only a process instruction element like that, with no other things. You might also put other things below, but this is the core. And here, and that's one of the rare occasions where you need to provide a characteristics in this form. So you really have to, when you have change mode, you have to add a line here and type in PPPI_layout, and then in that you need to press here and take some time. Be up in a minute. I don't know what happened here. I think I need to restart my sub GUI here. Ah, there it is. Okay, great. Okay, so this is this is the frame set only for including this weighing applet. So just ignore that one. What you need to have is this one, of course. You need to have this layout tag around it, and then you need to have this with custom style sheet included here in between the style. One word to this form here. Web repository, all the elements are filled in, and to access one of these elements, you need to have a prefix like this. So SAP R3 or the R3 system, then a dash, and then WR for web repository, and then again a dash. This, of course, also how it all starts, so that's how you tell the system to use another style sheet. Okay, the next thing, I'll open an editor where I have put in the style sheet. It is really loud there, out there. Please, could you try to stop that, please? Okay, let's try. Okay, so this is already in the style sheet, and you can, much better. format them, and which is really a good idea to do that, because once you enter some enhancements here, and for example a new style sheet comes up, you really need to identify all your locations where you modified something in your style sheet. And I always use some sort of templates like these to find the places here. For example, if I copy these, I can find for the locations here, and I see where I have included a certain enhancement. Okay, so I don't explain really how style sheets are working. I expect really that you might already know it, or that you maybe read something about it. But it all starts with this first template, which is called like this. And here you start really writing your HTML, and that's what is done here. So it starts with the normal HTML tag, head, and some other HTML data. And then there are some XSL elements that sort of that is the coding language of this XSL style sheet. And what is done at the very beginning here in the style sheet, these 3 lines, they include the style sheet, the CSS style sheets for printing here and for the screen. And here is also the place where you also include your own custom CSS style sheet, which I had done here. And here on this line is the place where you include your custom JavaScript coding that I've done here. So these are the deactivated standard lines here. So you see these are the standard elements, and here are the locations where I included my custom style. Okay, so these are the basics, and then it starts. So this is basically the template where it starts, and you see here is the end HTML tag, and here are several templates then called, and so on and so on. So this is the procedure how this is handled in XSL style sheet. So the next template here is a document where all the header information is placed, and I really won't get into much of this. Maybe I go a little bit further, where I give you an example, maybe further down, how an input field, for example, or an output field is looking like. So here we are at a section where a template for a text output field is visible. Here you see this is the text output field, and you see here that it's looking for a PPPI node characteristics. So the domain here, the domain attribute here is actually the characteristics from R3 you're using. And let's pick another one, maybe an input. Here you see an input field, and here also you see if there are any help values. That's the case if you have a characteristics with several values. Then in the XML there are some help values there, and then you get this drop-down list here, and so on and so on. I won't go really into details. So this is the structure, and if you want to do that on your own, you really need to find out how this standard style sheet is behaving. I can just give you some hints, and the rest is then up to you. What I will do, and that's what I thought is a good idea, is I will handle some sample coding, and I thought it's maybe a good idea to explain it in an example. It's this one. So, and for that, I have 3 places in the style sheet that I have identified, and I will show it to you. So the first one is here in this template document, which is one of the very first templates here in the style sheet. There's normally a table built up initially with a width of 100%, so that it spans the whole width of this header area, and I just make sure that it's only covering 50% of that area. Okay. And then at the end here, let's scroll down a little bit. Here, at the end, I add something. So this is the table where all your metadata is shown, and also some of the menu entries. Yeah. And here afterwards, so at the right side of this table, I add another table like this, and then I choose this XSL statement, XSL value select, where I really look in the whole document, and that's just done with this prefix here for an element where the label starts with MX column header. So I sort of enter later on in the PI sheet an HTML long text with a certain label, and I just grab the content of this text and display it at a different part of the PI sheet. Of course, if I leave it like that, then also in the original location that text will be shown, and I don't want to have this. So I must, of course, also make sure that if I do that, also the original text is not displayed, and that is done in a different section. I have to find that here, and this is here. So this is a little bit further down, where basically all the a little up here. This is a template of an instruction here, of a simple instruction. Yeah? And here I make sure that at the place where normally a normal text output here is done, I make sure that the text output is only done when the label does not start with this MX column, because I'm using this quite a lot here. So I use this hiding instruction for several things. Yeah, and that's basically the trick, and I'll show you how this is then implemented in the PI sheet or in the XSteps. First of all, of course, this layout definition must be included, and then I've created a small standard XStep like that, where I just add this MX header. And additionally, I'm added some parameters, so I want to have the material text. I use this long text characteristics, so that also the 40 characters of the material text will be put into that parameter. And then in this long text, see, this is the signaling description that later on tells my style sheet, okay, this long text you must not display in the normal position, but you have to display it in the header of the PI sheet. So what I do here is I do some coloring, because I need to have a white color here, and maybe some larger font size, and then I just include this parameter here, and hopefully this will work. I tried it before a little bit, but I'm not quite sure. So let's make a next experiment here. So I'll just enter a new order. And I'm adding this reference, put it at the very beginning here, after the layout. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. And I'll just create a control recipe for test. And see that the description of the header material is also a 40-character description, so that's also a nice demonstration for this new feature here. Okay. Yeah, there it is. A little bit too large, but it's working. Okay. So that was a quick overview, and I believe you have got a lot of questions. So maybe that's a good point where you could do so. I know there are a couple of guys here very much interested in these elements here. So I would use the rest of the time then to try to explain what I did there. But maybe if you've got some questions, go on.
Arnie, can you hear us?
Yes.
The PPPI fragment HTML characteristic, that's not in 4.6c. Is there a way I can look up what that characteristic is so I can put it into my 4.6c system?
Hold on. The problem there is if this technique to display the 40 characters of the material short text is only working with XStep because of this parameter valuation. You won't be able to do that in 4.6c. But I've got a different answer to your request. What you should do is just add a in a separate characteristic, so that you've got the normal material short text with the 30 characters, and then in that place here you can also combine these two metadata then later on. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Okay.
That's what I also did at another customer. And you don't see that it's actually two characteristics. I just put them really close together so that it's as one. Any other question?
I have one. What is the...
Who's speaking?
Christoph Pabel.
Ah, hi.
Hi. What things you can do with these PPPI fragment HTML? Can you do also stuff like you showed now with the big letters, with the material text, or can there only be done layout things like changing color and things like this?
Well, actually, I mean it's just a text. Whatever you want to do with the text, you can basically do. I mean, and if that text goes into the style sheet, and yeah, I don't really grab the question. I mean.
Yeah, in the beginning you showed that you can do some changes in the PPI fragment HTML,
CSS, yes.
And then you change the background color or something like this.
Yes.
And what things you can do with this PPI fragment?
With this technique, I see.
And not making changes in the style sheet.
Actually, you can do quite a lot, but you cannot do any structural changes. Yeah? So all of my desktop seems to okay. Do you see my desktop?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
No. Okay. So all that is takes care of font size, font color, font type, some things like margins, sizes, height, width. So you can really do a lot of things. And actually, I've sent a link around which I use a lot. Unfortunately, it's only available in German, but as you are German, you might be able to use that. That's the self-HTML.
Yeah, I know.
And there in the style sheet section, you see a lot of different things, and there's background pictures, borders, and such. So there are quite a lot of things you can manipulate. But you cannot add a new element. So for that, you really need the XSL style sheet.
I think also the closing of the faces you need to do in the style sheet itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So all functionality stuff need to be in the style sheet.
Yeah. So for example, these active icons that I use here also only in style sheet.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So if there are no further questions, I would go a little bit deeper. I don't know. Was it too complicated for you? any feedback there, or is it sort of well known?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question regarding this performance issue. Basically, when we actually do even for the normal PI sheets and XSL. So, if what is the basic difference with each?
The XStep's have more focused on functional things, but I believe that the performance issue was already known at that time, and I think really they took care of that. I don't think that the XStep's have a performance that is worse than the old style PI sheet. I think they are better, but I cannot really prove it. So, but you know the basic stuff there, the XSL and the XML, it's the same, So there's no reduction in elements there. What we did though in the last years, also in enhancement packages and notes, is we try to reduce the complexity in the style sheet itself. So in the XSL style sheet, you have seen that there are a lot of nested tables here. Yeah, you see here's a table and there are tables. So you've got a lot of nested tables, and the more tables you nest in HTML, the slower it gets. So there we try to reduce some things there. But I mean the look and feel is really dependent on a certain structure you need to have there also in HTML.
Yeah, but this also indicates that you have nested more information and more like GIF and more picture-related things which can be uploaded directly into the XStep's. So does that not would actually affect the performance because
when I do these custom style sheets?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I do a lot of additional fields there and a lot of stuff, yes, of course. It's a simple thing. The more you add, the more elements you add, the slower it will become. Because it's just a matter of size and structure of the result of HTML.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure whether I can really can explain it to the very depth. Okay, first of all, I have. Let's go here. I've already shown you what I did here. I have sort of diverted a certain output here to another part of the PI sheet, and that's basically the same that I do here in this space control thing. Hold on, where is it? I've also used the same technique here. So here, these two elements here, I'm opening up one here, is a certain characteristic, and I'm just adding a new session here. Show you this characteristic.
Already, is this another case where it only works in XStep's?
No. In that case, I would say this would work also with 460, I think. When you compare this to that, so here the trigger for this is actually the text you see here, so the description. Yeah. In that case, I used a different approach. I've used the description of the characteristic, because this description is later on also shown in the XML, and I can prove it to you by just finding this. Okay, I think because I've collapsed this, I need to go into another thing here. So this is also the XML document, and I'm just here. Here you see this is an output element here in the XML. So this is the domain, which I already explained. This is the characteristic, and here you see there's a value which is called tip, a tag which is called tip, and it contains the value mx icon, and the tip is always the description of this characteristic. So in this case, I used a special characteristic with a certain description here to say, okay, this is and will become an icon. Yeah. I don't know what I did here, but so this is no, I was here. This is what I did here at this point. So I have an output, a dummy output. I didn't put any description here because I don't need it. I just have this special characteristic here to indicate to the style sheet, okay, here will be, you have to do something different, okay. So let's just go to the style sheet, and this is basically this enhancement here. So I'll have to look it up. Okay, let's check. So this is the point where I do this. So I add in this element here, and this is the place where the icons, the tray icons of the face tray go. And you might know maybe here the enhancement here that have been made in a certain EHP, where you see an icon for completed signatures or something like that. They are marked here, and I just added something after these icons, and this is this. So what did I do? I checked, okay, if that instruction here has an element which starts with, where this tip starts with MX icon, which I already explained, then do something else, and that is this here. So let's check. Okay, here. That's the core part of it. Yeah, there's some HTML around it, but the core part is this, that I'm using an HTML input tag with a certain image, which is basically this one, which is an empty GIF image. So that I have already an image there. So in this thing here, there are images, but you don't see them. In that case, and then you see that's the reason why I really need to have an output field here, because I need to communicate with the PI sheet here. I need to have a value that I can use to get this event on property changed here. So this input field, it has an ID that also indicates to the browser framework of the PI sheet that this has a relevance for the backend values that are stored and handled, and therefore I can really say, okay, on property change, call up a certain JavaScript functionality. And I think also on click I did, but on property change, that is the basic thing here. That is called then, and this JavaScript functionality is included in this custom JavaScript file that I've already described before, where I just have here this is the element, and the element has a value. So the element in this case is the input tag of the HTML, and element.value is the value of this tag. And then I can see, okay, is it green, is it red, is it yellow? And these are actually the values I really pass to that field, right? So again, coming back to the repository, this is the parameter name. Yeah. So I have a real parameter that I fill with a certain value. So it's an output of a parameter, and this parameter value is later on this element value. And there the only thing I do here, I just have a case structure here where I just change the source of this element to a different GIF file, and that's it. End of story. Of course, what I also have to do to be totally complete, I also here must make sure that I don't show it in the normal place. And I think this is this is done with this template, and it's an empty template, so it does actually do nothing, and it's for all those elements that follow this rule here, which has this tip of which is called mx_icon. So I know this is all pretty much, and I believe it's just a hint for you to maybe start and go on with your own experiments. It took me quite a long time to really find out how this is all working, but the starting point is really to know the structure of is structured, so what the structure of the XML is, and how the templates of this XSL style sheet are organized. Yeah. And I don't think the time is really enough to cover that in more detail. So, but maybe just a few hints. So if you go in the lower section of the style sheet here, you see a lot of different templates. Where you see here, this is the different type of the template, and then here you see that this is for a certain type of an instruction, and every instruction has either a simple or a repeated type, and that's how the system distinguishes between the simple elements and the repeated elements. Okay, any questions on that? I fear this is a very complex and a complicated thing.
Arnie, how
did you understand it?
Yes? How do you assign the value to the parameter? I see how you set the parameter.
Okay, yeah.
And it'll set which GIF gets populated into the PI sheet. But
yeah, well, yeah.
The value?
That is actually done with these phase check functions. So maybe you remember last time, if you have attended or watched the recording, that this function module here for the phase checking is called on the event document logged in or document saving, and this function module here gets the order number, the phase number, and the work center number, and returns two status. Yeah, and you see these are the status actually that I have output here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See here, that's the output lstat 2, and that's the output lstat.
So you need to have event set up in your SAP system.
Yeah. Of course, somehow this parameter needs to know that it has to change. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? I really intend to write a guide for doing these things, and maybe I also put some samples like I did with the body generation and valuation stuff. I put on the SDN, but it will take some time to do so. So yeah.
What's interesting for me, if you have a table line in 4.6c, you do have the possibility to add a new line with an icon, with a plus icon.
Yes.
And I know that you can go with the right mouse button to the line and deactivate an empty line.
Mm-hmm.
And to have this deactivation, especially for the last line, as an additional icon, would be very good training to start with some of this style sheet enhancement.
Maybe Michael can help you with that. Michael is on the line as well. He's a consultant from SAP Germany, and I think Michael, I think we did that already in some customers, didn't we? Michael?
No, but.
Oh, I think we lost him. Okay.
Yeah, but I think what you need, at least you need a JavaScript.
No, in that case, I mean, if we're talking about an active line, it's relatively simple because there are some sort of standard commands there that you can quite easily use in that position.
Okay.
What you cannot do is if the line is completed or locked, you cannot
that's clear.
do something there. Right? So deactivation is I think should be possible.
Yeah, because what we always have are some, let's say, empty tables where they just want to have the possibility to input something, but they have 50% where they don't input something and they are not very happy to put the right mouse button to somewhere. It's a lot faster to just click on an icon.
Mm.
But
maybe just to give you a hint how this will work. Here on this position, it's quite at the beginning. It's before this template header content. You've got a section which is looks like this here, and these are all the buttons, the menus that you have here. Okay, and these are commands that are handled for the whole document. You see here, this is the hold on. I think it's that one here. So, edit, show, save, complete. And I think what is quite easy is to use different codes, but you have to know how they are called. And because there are these codes are quite similar, or they have a one-to-one relationship to the commands you can use from 4.7 on. So these commands, hold on,
we have with the right mouse click, you can activate some commands. We didn't want the end user to, in some plans or in some specific situations, we didn't want them to activate some of these commands, and so we just were using the ABAP in background to deactivate these commands. So the user has got only part of these commands active. If he pushes the button like deactivate the whole PI sheet, he gets a command not allowed for you.
Okay. You can. You don't have you only have 4.7, 4.6c systems available.
4.6c.
Yeah, but if you have another system, then you can look up here in the commands what principle is there, and but I can also give you the contact of Maiko who can help you there. Maybe.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I'll finish up here because it's nearly 4 o'clock here my time, and so that I have the possibility to do the wrap up here, to also give you the possibility to vote how you found this session here, and also to discuss what maybe is of interest in the next session. It's of course the more we had done now, the more we have covered already. So I hope also that we get someday into a mode of just chatting on many different topics, because we have had some specific demos already, and then we can maybe chat about this and that. But still, so I just marked this here as done here. So we have done also this. So there are still some on the list here, and I can also. Is there any comment, any addition you would like to see? Any comments on that list here, on the topic list notes? What might be missing there?
Well, there's nothing on the next topic area.
There's not? Topic list?
Yeah, there's nothing.
To the left. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, because maybe there's something missing, so I can also open the poll if you want. Yeah. So then you can vote. But if we need to extend that list, I need to do that again. that was the reason why I didn't open it so far. Tabular values. That's a good one, actually. Yeah. I mean, basically, many of my demos really use a lot of these table values, and many of my function modules really do a lot of things there. Getting tabular data out of one table and updating another table or something like that. So that's maybe a real good thing to do that in the next session, and that's what you have voted. I already saw it. So that's then we'll do that. So I'll show something about tabular values, and I see that the ratings of the sessions is not as good as before, but I think that's because of the rather high technical character of the whole thing. Any comments on this session? General comments?
Yeah, probably this is very helpful for the developer.
Pardon me?
This session is very helpful for the developers who develops these XSL style sheets.
Yes.
You should create a book.
I thought about that.
Yeah, it was very helpful for developers and for consultants, of course.
Yeah.
Admin, this is Mohan.
Yes.
If you see in the topic, the last one, it gives something from instruction-based PA sheets to XStepCafe. So, are we going to discuss this one, or we're going to provide any differences between characteristic-based XStepCafe?
You mean that the last point of the
topic list.
Of the topic list, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can. I don't know how long this tabular thing will go. Yeah, we can try to do it next time as well.
And I have one more.
But I don't know. Was it especially from you that request last time? Please do send me some more specific questions on that. So everybody who is interested in that last topic here, issues on switching from instruction-based PI sheet to XStep's, just send me a mail on some more specific questions on that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, good.
Good. Any more comments?
I have one more question. So is there any way to see the HTML code out of the PA sheet, like how we are seeing the XML code?
Yes. Actually, there is one. I don't have it at hand right now, but I did it as well, and you need to include a JavaScript function inside. Maybe you can just do it inline in the HTML text, and then you need to have a button there in an HTML that calls that function module. And in that JavaScript, you can call a function that shows the whole document in a certain way. I need to find out how I did it, but maybe you can also find it out. It was not that difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be the approach.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe. I think that's we're already over time, so maybe it's time to finish up here. If there are no urgent questions here. Okay.
Peter, one small question.
Yes.
Yeah. It's actually I just wanted to know the basic requirement which actually we are addressing with XStep's. If it's a little bit different from the previous style sheet and even the HTML-based sheet. So what we are actually right now majorly gaining with XStep's?
That was the question. What do you majorly gain using XStep's instead of
other than the bitmaps and the images which you are right now actually we have addressed as a requirement?
XStep's, of course, majorly is enhancing the build process of the PI sheet. So in terms of functionality, not much has been done. Basically, the advantage is really you are much faster in building up your PI sheets. And it's also one of my customers. They really also put some of the work to define all these elements really to the functional departments. So whereas before only the IT department was there to define the process instructions because it was quite complicated to know the correct sequence of these characteristics. Now you can do for simple elements, simple steps. You can really give this to functional department. So the guys who maintain the recipes, for example. So that's really an improvement because it relieves the IT department a little bit.
So there is you mean we don't require more of transports with the XSteps?
I mean the XSteps and the XStep repository is all master data. So that's also a shift in paradigm here. You don't have the transport mechanism. You have the export-import mechanisms in the XStep repository, though. Yeah. But this is a detail, of course, you need to figure out how to
joining conference.
Handle this.
Anil, Aleti?
Okay, and that's I think improvement then. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anil, I think you missed the whole thing because you might have mixed up the time zones, correct?
Yeah, right. That's right.
Sorry to
joining
tell
conference.
You that, we just finished.
But
you will get the recording.
Okay. I think it's CST, if I'm not wrong, right? Then the correct time zone would be CEST.
CET.
I always thought I'm in CET. So maybe just you choose Berlin time.
Yeah, Berlin time. I think.
Time.
Yeah, I would say it's probably.
Okay, I'm very sorry about that. So
no problem.
Maybe
No problem.
I should write Berlin time. Then I'm.
Yeah, that's probably the safest.
It's clear.
You can also write Hoffenheim time.
I don't think that this is known globally.
Some people in the U.S. they are real German soccer fans.
Yes, are they? Okay. All right. Okay, so thanks a lot for attending. I think we had a pretty big audience this time, and all the best to you. And the next regular session, I think, will be the 5th of November. We'll write it down here.
5th November.
Yep.
Yeah, and Peter, we have a forum for XStep there. So. Hello.
What?
Peter?
Anna is my name. Who do you address? What was the question?
Yeah, I'm Harsh here. Actually, it's we didn't disturb the audience, and we have actually just entered as a number there as a 148102. Yeah, and. Is there, apart from these sessions, we have a forum also for XSteps? I just wanted to know, if you want to have some more information and keep updating.
Yeah, that's principally a good idea, and I think that was already raised in one of our last sessions. There is a forum in SDN on the level of SCMPP, which is, of course, a big one. I already asked that moderator there, and they said, okay, if somebody wants to take care as a moderator of that forum, it's okay. You can have a subtopic, but I don't want to have another task here to do to moderate a forum.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how to handle this.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so thanks a lot for attending, and then let's finish up. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Danke. Tschüss.
Thank you.
Bye.